So I've noticed that I've miscommunicated with a lot of people in my life, and I realized that that was unfair to them and unfair to me. Hi, I'm Damian Gold, and I've been through a lot of really bad friendships. And today I want to talk about my story of communication in hopes that I inspire empathy or a new sense of communication in someone else. So to set the stage for who I was more than a year ago, I was very assertive as a person. I enforced a lot of boundaries that kind of kept a wall around me and kept me closed off from the outside world. I would go so far as to say that I was aggressive even. I was the one who would dominate group projects. I would shut down anybody who disagreed with me with no hesitation, and I never left room for my ideas to not be heard. I was also the one that had expectations for people and never said anything about them. I had a friend in recent years who never made plans to go out and see anybody, but I expected them to, and I never said that out loud, but I got mad when they didn't make plans with me, and it was frustrating because I felt like I wasn't being understood. And it was frustrating on their end because I wasn't saying anything about it. I never got to sit down and have a conversation where we reached an agreement or mutual understanding about things as simple as setting plans. And I would also be the person who perceived everything as an attack. And I think that that came from a fear of not being an established person in my social surroundings. I was scared that if I did something wrong, that I was a bad person, I was wrong, and I would never fit in. So I would take things like criticism as an attack on my character, as disrespect, and I would perceive everything as a personal vendetta against Damian. So if I didn't get a text back after a couple of days from one of my friends, then I would think that I was being ignored. These interactions shaped how people viewed me, and I still live through the repercussions of the myth of aggressive Damian Gold today. People have told me that I am a control freak, I'm aggressive, and it's all based on me coming off aggressively and asserting myself. So after a lot of failed friendships, I realized that I was the common denominator in all of them, and I should reassess how I'm interacting with people. And over time, I also had a growing need to be understood because I felt like since I wasn't communicating properly, no one understood who I was and what I wanted and what I was feeling. And these two reasons really motivated me to set out to learn about healthy friendships and communication and empathy. So I'm late to the party. So what am I doing now to communicate better with the people around me? I expanded my language to include a sense of self. So I started talking about my feelings and needs more. Marshall B. Rosenberg, a psychologist who wrote the book Nonviolent Communication, A Way of Life, outlines 4 main things that we should be communicating with the people around us, and that is non-judgmental observations, feelings, our needs, and a request that would enrich our lives. And that looks like an I statement. So I feel blank when blank happens because I need blank. I would like blank in the future. Using this framework really helped me to connect with other people about what I was feeling and needing. So for example, with the friend that I discussed previously, I could have instead sat with them and said, I feel lonely when you don't respond to my text after a couple of days because I'm really needing communication with the people around me, and I would like us to talk more often over the phone or via text. I also expanded my ability to listen to other people's feelings and needs, and that really just looks like asking people what they're feeling and asking what they're needing. So I could have said, are you feeling frustrated when I don't communicate properly about my expectations because you're needing communication also? Another thing that I did that really improved my friendships over time was trusting in myself and having faith in myself. So I was really scared of being vulnerable, of being hurt, and I think that not only did I throw preemptive strikes at people because of that, it also made me scared of communicating because I thought that I would be betrayed if I showed a sign of vulnerability or weakness. But I'll never know if someone's going to betray me. That's an uncertainty that I have to accept in life. Just like I'll never know if I wake up tomorrow, or I'll never know anything in like the next year. It's all uncertain and not set in stone yet. But what I do know for certain is that I'm trying my best today to communicate and to show empathy and to listen out for others. And I can trust that I'll be okay no matter what happens because I'm learning tools to love myself and accept myself and accept the world of uncertainty around me. So where has this gotten me? I am in a better state mentally. I would say that grounding myself in the present and being able to accept what I can and cannot control has been really beneficial to my mental health. I was able to rekindle a lot of the friendships in the past where I've hurt somebody by not being able to communicate properly. And that makes me the happiest person in the world right now. And I'm also able to understand people who aren't my friends. It helps in situations where I have a shared responsibility with my peers, like in group projects. I'm a better communicator to my teachers, my family. So these skills aren't limited to friendship. They're pretty universal. Another way that this has improved me is I'm able to connect with people who I don't know yet. And I'm able to understand where people of different backgrounds are coming from, because if I can have that empathy for people around me and understand how situations can cause complex feelings and needs for other people, I can totally see how situations I've never heard of or situations I'll never experience can cause stress or anxiety or frustration for people who live across the world. And it's helped me become a better person, at least in understanding global conflict. In creating this TED Talk speech, I realized that a lot of the team thought I hated them. And so they were very unsure about putting me in a speaker position. And I realized that there are probably more people who were affected by my lack of good communication. And so to those people and to the team, I'm sorry. I've been working on being a better communicator and really understanding other people's feelings and needs, as well as talking about my own, and making sure that the end goal of conflict resolution for me has been meeting both of everybody's needs. And I'm really excited to have accomplished that and to be able to stand up here today and talk about my story, because I hope that it inspires a new sense of global awareness or awareness of other people's complex realities, and an understanding of self too, and a trusting of self. For the first time in the longest time, I'm able to look at people like people, both figuratively and literally, by learning how to communicate better. I'm more confident in myself. I can make more eye contact with people. And so I'm literally seeing people's faces for the first time. And I'm also seeing people as more complex than I think I myopically thought they were in the beginning. I'm seeing that they have their own life stories and their own complex needs and feelings, and being able to understand that has really has really just improved my friendships. And so I hope that if anyone out there is anyone like me and that they were scared of communicating before, I hope that I inspire somebody to step out of that cycle and start talking about your feelings and needs and listen for others, because I can honestly say that I'm so much happier in my interactions with people now that I've started doing that. Thank you. That's all I have.